What's up, everyone? This is Kiki coming to you today to send nothing but love, peace, and happiness your way. Today, it was laid heavy on me to come on and talk to you a little bit, to express myself, to, like some people think, to ramble on. You know, I want to know, are there any chosen ones out there? Any people out there that's relatable? Anybody seeing what I'm seeing? Or is it just me? Am I saying things that's not helpful in our society? Am I poisoning our society with negativity? Am I trying to encourage people to rip people off? You know, help me understand this, okay? Because apparently some people have a little issue with me being very blunt in a hardcore, raw way. And it could be worse. To me, this is like the watered down version of me expressing myself. But tell me, chosen ones, if you're out there, help me understand. Why do people, let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about the intermingled type of communication and socializing. Now, I'm not the type of person that like to go to clubs. I've been there. I had my chance. I'm not the type that want to go around and look for validation, you know. So you really will see me out hoping and looking hungry and thirsty, like I need a nigga phone number. So you ain't gonna see me like that. All right? Not as long as I'm in my right mind. Now, help me understand, why do men, and this is for the chosen woke women, why do men want to know how your vagina works? They want to know the ins and outs. They want to know if it's worn out. They want to know, does it get wet? They want to know, does it grip and grab onto that meat nice and right? They want to know all of that about your body, right? But the minute you ask them if they are married or if they got a main chick, things start to sound unclear. It's complicated. Or it's got to be a darn line story that don't even make no sense. They can't be straight up and clear about that, but they want you to be straight up and clear about yourself. They want to know how many kids you got, but at the same time, they can't tell you whether they owe child support or not. All right, and I can flip the script. You know, I don't show favoritism. Men, there are women out there. They want to know what kind of package you got between your legs. They want to know, can it do its job? Or does it fall asleep every now and then and it takes time to wake up? They want to know what amount of money you got in your bank account, but they can't tell you whether they graduated or not, or whether they held a job long enough, or whether they know how to be independent with and without somebody, okay? So the thing is, the whole point I'm trying to make, it's like people are now, and maybe I'm just running into the wrong people. I don't know. But it just seemed like the things that I'm seeing on social media, the things I'm hearing, it's like people pick and choose what to share and pick and choose what they want to know, right? It's like, first thing I want to know is, are you safe? If I got to be entertaining you, I want to know, are you safe? Not just to the point to where I got to worry about fighting no other female over you. I want to know, is your package safe? Because, and I'm trying to be clean. I'm trying to be clean with my words today. I'm trying to be clean. I'm improving, because, you know, I do want to relate to all different types of people, and I want to be diverse with my words. But it's like, sometimes it's just things be happening and it don't make sense to me, and it just brings out that rough ghetto side of me, and I try my best to kind of keep it sleep. But it's like, when stuff just okay, I'm ranting. Let me calm on back. Let me calm on down. It's like people want to know all about your business They want to know this and that, but they don't want to contribute. Like, okay, if you want to know where I'm from, okay, that's all well and good. But if you want to know whether I'm married, okay, why is that your business? If you are interested and want to know, then that's a different story, okay? Because I'm going to want to know. And when I start to, show interest in someone, yes, I want to know, are you completely done with your baby mama or your ex-girlfriend? Are you completely single? Not, okay, I'm single, but I do have this girl that I fuck on every blue moon. I want to know all the tea. I want to know all the details, because that gives me the opportunity to determine whether you a good fit in my life. It's like, there's some women that don't care what you do as long as you entertaining them at that point in time. That's the kind of advice I had got a couple of years ago, and this was from a pastor's wife. She told me, what my husband do or does is none of my business. As long as he comes home and pays the bills and makes sure I'm good, that's all that matters. But see, I can somewhat agree, but there's so much that can pose a problem when you just live your life in la la land and thinking that, okay, you good, but you never know when all of that setup that your husband is providing for you can be swiped away from some greedy bitch that don't care nothing about family. She just want her needs being met. So I don't know, that one right there, I think she might want to go back in her prayer closet and work on that one, because I don't know about that one. Now, it's like people always in your face and they want to know something about you, but it's like nobody don't want to know how to stop the craziness from going on in our society, how to save our generation so they won't grow up emotionally damaged, unhealthy, toxic, and thinking it's normal. It's like, when do we focus on that? When do we focus on trying to help our kids, learn how to communicate better, rather than going on some kind of social media or group chat and plotting to hurt somebody? It's like, what's going on in our society? Because all of this was just not noticeable to me when back then, before I woke up. It was like everybody was just looked at as, okay, we got our sinners and we got our Christ-like folks, but I never thought it would be a day when I wake up and I just see just the craziness and the dysfunction going on in everyone across the board, including myself, because I'm not perfect. And I know when you grow up in a fucked up situation or a messed up society, you're gonna have side effects. That's why I'm like, I told my kids, ain't no need to be joining no army, because you gonna deal with all the side effects of being in the army, just living your life in society, in America. You don't have to worry about ducking and dodging from bullets out there across seas, because you can possibly deal with that right up the street in the hood. It's like, you don't gotta worry about people trying to take advantage of you across seas, because you got people that be working with you will take advantage of you. You got family members that will take advantage of you. And then they be wondering, okay, well, why people be tripping, or why people always stay high, why people always stay drunk. But they don't understand there's things that's being put in place, and that's why I always say it's a spiritual warfare for people to continue on to make poor choices. They drown out the problem and they numb it with substances, and then they repeat the problem instead of solving the problem in a more healthier, wiser way. But like I said, I don't have the answers. I just know it's got to be another planet that I'm supposed to be on, because right now it's like I see the problem not just in black people in our black community. Well, I'm just trying to relate to the audience. I really don't like saying black, but I'm just relating to the audience. But it's like, I see the problem all across the board. It's like now, and let me do a little quick update. Now, when I had a opportunity to talk to this father, okay, because I was having a little issue with these two students. They're different races, but they don't really see eye to eye. One student, got aggravated, and the European boy, white boy, he yelled out, nigger to the black girl, and the black girl yelled out cracker. And so I tried to get them to write some type of an apology or some type of understanding on why it's impolite to use that type of word, and especially in my classroom. So the Caucasian white father, European father, decided to come and try to tell me how I need to handle things, and telling me what his son didn't do and how I should handle it. And come to find out, we had at least 4 to 5 witnesses, especially of the same race as the boy, testify and say or admit that they heard the boy yell that out first. So I mentioned this to my coworkers, and when I repeated the same story to them, they were quiet when I said that, the white European boy, yelled out the word nigger. But then when I said, the black girl responded by saying cracker, then they like, So it's like, I mean, that's just hidden racism, and that's just how people were raised up to think that they're better than another. And it's like, I can see it being just instilled all over again in our generation, and I don't know when it's going to get to the point where that's played out. We all are slaves now. We're all out here on the plantation. If you're an employee, you are a slave. We all out here. If you got to work for a business, that is a plantation that you are working for. So ain't nobody should be looking at nobody no differently. We all got to pay taxes, and we all got to deal with a crazy behind president. So to me, it's like people got a lot of stuff going on in their mind that's just really screwed up and backwards. And now I'm getting these, now my supervisor telling me, he just emailed you again, don't respond. I'm not finna keep bowing down. I already, they just don't know me. They don't know who is in my corner spiritually on the other side. They just don't know. Sometimes, yeah, I can shut up. Yeah, I can shut up. But sometimes, no. Some people need to hear my mouth, because they need to act right. That's all that is to it. They need to act right. So if their mama ain't tell them, I'm gonna tell them. Now, as far as now the responses I'm getting is, I got this little book that somebody put in my mailbox, and what's the name of the book? And I'm like, where's this book coming from? I don't know. When it comes to mind, I'll put the picture below. But yeah, now I'm getting a book about how I need to be. I know it got something to do with 7 ways to be effective or something like that. And I'm like, okay, how in the world am I getting this book? I know one thing. Every other teacher that I'm about to go check on, they better have the same book. They better tell me they found the book, or they got the same book in their mailbox, because all I know is I'm not finna let nobody break my spirit down, because they still stuck in the mindset of Darwin, when he was a prejudiced scientist trying to get all the black people to be belittled and experimented on. And they thinking it's cool. Or the ones that want to experiment and take all the women, black women, eggs or ovaries, just so somebody else can have it and for their enjoyment, or to walk around and act like they was born with ovaries. So the thing is, I don't have time and patience for it no more. I don't have time and patience for no BS. And this is why I roll solo. Not because I think I'm better than anyone, not that, I'm bougie or anything like that. Because, I get up every day and I got to clock in and clock out just like everybody else. The fact is, it's like, I enjoy my peace, and that's priceless. And it ain't always easy to have. So in order for me to be effective in this society, I know that I have to be amongst the chosen ones, people that I can really relate to, people that's all about self-improvement, self-growth, not selfishness, not self-gratification, not, anything that's low vibrational. I'm not on that level no more. I told you, people change like seasons. Maybe once upon a time, I was very immature. Yes, I was very naive. Yes, I was very lost. But then as time go on, that get played out. It's almost like you start off playing video games when you a teenager, and then when you start having a family and you get to a certain age, that you ain't into it as much as you used to be. Now you weaning yourself off and you really focusing on providing a strong foundation for your family and a better future. So anything happen to you, you don't got to be worrying about somebody coming in dogging out your family, your kids, and your ex or whoever, not your ex, but your widowed person, because they don't know how to survive in the craziness of high taxes and inflation and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong websites. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong places. And I ain't really looking, but I'm just saying, I haven't really ran across someone with, some that's real intellectual. No, you don't got to be this top 100% A+ graduate with a PhD. I ain't talking about that, but somebody that's talking with substance, somebody that ain't trying to see, like I said, how your pussy work and then want to dip in and then dip out, just so they can have you on their roster. Like, nobody don't have time for that, or let's just talk about getting drunk and how many bottles can you handle and how many weed bags can you smoke, in so many hours, just because you don't got nothing else better to do. Like, I ain't judging no one that does that, because everybody go through their era, but I just know it's got to be better things going on in this society. It's just too many of my students that I'm running into, they're already talking about suicide. They're already talking about having sex. They're already talking about, killing someone. It's like they are now being tainted with the ideas that, okay, well, if I don't get attention from my mama, and my mama and daddy ain't getting along, so I ain't gonna get attention from my daddy, so I'm gonna do something stupid and get attention that way. I'm gonna get negative attention. It's like there's so much that I can just ramble on about, whether the person like it or not. And if you don't like because I'm rambling, you can just scroll on to another channel. But it's like, what do we do with situations like that? So if you are a chosen one that's woke, one that's powerful and ready, and I'm talking about carrying that God power without shame. If you are ready to make change, please reach out to me, because we got to somebody got to do something. We got to be change agents somewhere in one of these cities, because I done been all over Florida, in and out of Florida, and it's got me worried. It's got me worried, and I'm wondering if that's why maybe they're saying in probably 10 to 15 years, while they saying Florida finna be underwater anyway. I wonder if that's what it is, because it needs some help. And I was born at the edge of Florida, but still born, raised in Florida, Miami, Jacksonville, Tampa, Tallahassee, everywhere pretty much. And we need to make some changes somewhere. And I know it ain't just Florida. I know Florida ain't the only one that's going through it. But I just know that right now, this is what I see. This is where I'm at. And it's got me worried. So I'm done rambling on. And until next time, peace out.